Hello and welcome back. This is the Korg 770. It's a monophonic synthesizer. I currently have it listed on Reverb for sale. Just wanted to go through some of the functions and tell you a little bit about this old analog instrument. It has two VCOs, VCO2 and then VCO1 is over here. You can select between them using a mixer. Here's VCO1. It's currently set on the pulse. Here's the triangle waveform. You have control over the octave. So it goes right up into the upper range. I like to have it on 32 for bass. Here's the sawtooth. Here's a pulse waveform. The other one was 50%. This one's like 25 or something. Pretty cool. Chorus is like pulse width modulation. It's tied to whatever the LFO is doing. The LFO is right down to nothing. You won't have much modulation, but when you start turning the LFO up, it's increasing the amount of pulse width modulation, and the LFO speed is increasing at the same time. I like to use low amounts of that. And then you have the external input. You can plug in any other instrument into the back and run it through the filters and then trigger it using the keyboard. Now let's get to VCO2. You have both VCO1 and VCO2. Let's just have VCO2 by itself. Then you have a ring modulator. It uses VCO1 and VCO2 together, although you don't have to listen to what VCO1 is doing. Okay, it turns out if you have this on external input, ring mod won't do anything, so you got to turn this to some waveform. And then let's do some ring mod. Have all just VCO2 and not hear what the VCO1 is doing in the ring. So this first ring mod will scale with the tracking of the keyboard. The second one does not, so you can dial in something. And that pitch for VCO2 will not track with the keyboard, it will just stay static. Scale noise. That's interesting. It's noise with some harmonics that track with the pitch keyboard. Let's just listen to VCO2 doing that. This sounds like some 9 Inch Nail sounds to me. And then of course you have regular pink noise. And then you have white noise. filter is a low pass. I have the resonance turned up all the way, and then we got the high pass. You can have no resonance here. You can have it in the middle. You can introduce the envelope to the low pass. You can have it be reversed, where it subtracts from the filter. You can do the same thing for the high pass. You can introduce LFO to the filter. Alright, envelope's pretty straightforward. Attack time. And singing level is just like the sustain level, basically. This switch makes it quick and easy to switch to a percussion type envelope. Nice and snappy. And then sustain will just hold that note. So I've got this on a key trigger. You can have LFO to trigger. And then you can increase or decrease your sustain time. Remote, that's where it's required to plug in some special DIN connector to the back, and it's a proprietary project that Korg made to use with this instrument. I don't know what it looks like, or I don't have that for sale with this instrument. And the attack time. It's like a range for the attack. VCO modulator section is pretty cool. You can affect the pitch of VCO1 using, yet this is a different LFO from the one that's over here. You have normal. Let me go to just VCO1 and hear it better. And then you have a delay, which brings in this knob here. You can set the delay time for the onset of the vibrato effect. And then you have this here, which is a bender. It's an automated type bender. It will just do the bending for you without having any joystick or wheel being involved. This starts from a high pitch going to the pitch that's triggered. Then you can set the speed of that bend. And you don't have any control over the amount of that. You just control how quick it goes. And then you can do the opposite. You can start a low pitch and bring it back up. Okay, pretty cool. And then you have a portamento section. Fixed is just a really, really slow portamento no matter what this knob is set to. Or you have control over how much of the portamento, how fast it is. This thing has some great sounds. I just put it on the chorus mode. Remember, that's the pulse width modulation. Then then I bring in some ring modulation.